Are you always the good one in the eyes of the others? Do you always try to be good? But it's okay to not to be good. It's okay not to be kind. It's okay to be selfish. And most importantly, it's okay to love yourself. Tonight, let us learn how to love ourselves. Let us listen to Don't Be Too Good by Haemin Sunim. Don't be too good. Were you one of those children who were praised for being good? Did you then try hard to be good by always agreeing with parents, teachers, or all their relatives? Even if sometimes it was hard, you learned not to complain and bore it quietly. And now that you are an adult, do you still feel a responsibility to please other people? Do you constantly make an effort not to disturb or be a burden on others? But when there is someone who makes things difficult for you, you try just to ignore it or put up with it, because it is not in your nature to do or say something that can potentially hurt someone or make someone feel uncomfortable. I have met many good people who suffer from depression, panic attacks, and other emotional disorders due to difficult human relationships. Such people tend to be gentle, well-mannered, and solicitous of others. They are the kind of self-sacrificing person who will habitually put others' people's wishes before their own. Why, I wondered, do such good people often fall victim to mental and emotional suffering? I too was introverted and meek as a child, and so was often praised for being good. A good son who wouldn't give his parents any trouble. A good student who listened to his teachers. All this taught me that it was good to be good. But when I went to graduate school, I began to feel that there might be a problem with only being good. In group work with students who were smarter than I was, with stronger personalities, I found that the task everyone wanted to avoid somehow always fell to me. I kept on telling myself that it was good to do good. But as time went by, it started causing me quite a bit of stress. When I opened my heart and spoke honestly to an older friend who was in the same program, he gave me the following advice. Be good to yourself first, then to others. It was like being struck by lightning. Up until then, I had only ever worried about what other people thought of me. I have never once thought properly about caring for myself or loving myself. When we say that someone is good, we often mean that the person complies with the will of others and isn't self-assertive. In other words, people who are good at suppressing their own desires, indifference to others, are the ones who frequently get called good. If someone always listens to me and follows my advice, naturally, I like that person and think of him or her as a good person. It seems that good sometimes refers to a person who thinks too much of others to be able to express his or her own will. While it is not always the case, there is a particular pattern that can be seen in our relationship with whoever raises as a child. Many who are self-effacing in this way grew up with a dominant father or strong-willed mother, or as a middle sibling who received relatively little attention from the parents, giving rise to a strong desire to win parents' recognition by obeying them in all things. In certain cases, when the parents' own relationship is not good, or the family dynamic is awkward in some way, they are also those who take it upon themselves to make their parents happy by being good. But the problem is that by living in accordance with the demands of others, we unwittingly neglect our own desires and needs. If as a child you were indifferent to your own feelings, minimizing them or not considering them important, as an adult, you will not be able to tell what it is you yourself want to do, or who you are as a person. And then when you encounter someone who treats you unfairly or makes things difficult for you, since you do not know how to properly express your own feelings, the anger that ought to be directed toward its instigator is trapped inside you and ends up attacking you instead. Why am I such an idiot that I can't express my feelings properly, can't even speak up honestly? Above all, please remember this. What you are feeling, it's not something that should just be ignored, but something very significant. The feelings inside you will not easily disappear just because you decide to suppress or ignore them. Many psychological problems come about what repression becomes a habit, and the energy of those suppressed emotions is unable to find a healthy outlet. Just as stagnant water becomes fetid and toxic, so it is with our emotions. But it's not too late. From now on, before going along with what others wish you to do, please listen to the voice inside you, telling you what you truly want. Even when you feel yourself buffeted by constant demands, if you really do not want to do something, do not try to push through with it, exhausting yourself to the point that you are no longer able to cope. Instead, try to make others understand what are you feeling by expressing it in words. Don't worry that expressing yourself will cause the other person to dislike you and the relationship to become strained. If the other person knew how you really felt, she probably wouldn't have made such demands of you. Even when everyone says, "Let's all have coffee," if you want a chai latte, it's okay to speak up and say, "I'd like a chai latte instead." We consider it good to be good to others, but don't forget that you have a responsibility to be good to yourself first. Learn to express what you are feeling without agonizing over it. It is a life skill every bit as important as learning how to read. Without it, dissatisfaction builds up, arguments break out, and relationships can blow up like volcanoes. Does it make you feel frustrated to be the only one doing the work? If so, don't just swallow the feeling. Speak up. It's difficult for me to do it on my own. Could you please help me out? Little by little, expressing your feelings will become easier. When someone asks for a favor, don't forget that you have the option to say, "I'm terribly sorry, but I can't do that. You have no obligation to take on a task that will be a great burden on you. And if the relationship grows strained because you do not do the favor, it was never a good relationship to begin with. Just as on a plane, you are told to put the emergency breathing mask on the child only after you have put one on yourself. There is nothing selfish about looking after yourself first. Only if you are happy, you will be able to make those around you happy. When you care for yourself first, the world will also find you worthy of care. In the same way that when you are in love and you want to spend time with only that person, try spending time on yourself. You deserve your care and attention. Treat yourself to a delicious meal, a good book, a nice walk with a lovely view, as you would invest in a person you love. So you should invest in yourself. My dear friend, because there is some part of you that is imperfect or broken, it can motivate you to work harder to overcome it, and can ultimately bring you success in life. It can also help you relate to others and become more compassionate. Do not despair over what is imperfect in yourself. Instead, look at your flaws with love. It's okay that you have flaws. How could our lives be as clean and white as a blank sheet of paper? Life naturally takes a toll on our bodies, our mind, and our relationships. Rather than choosing a life in which you do nothing for fear of making a mistake, choose a life that improves through failure and pain, and shout out loud to your struggling self, I love you so much. In our hearts, we all carry secrets that we cannot easily share with others. They can be about illness, money, sexuality, relationships, or family. They can evoke a deep sense of inferiority, shame, anxiety, or guilt. But because of the weight of the secrets, we become more humble and understanding. Don't judge people based on how they appear, as they may have difficulties that nobody can see. Seeing on social media how your friends are enjoying themselves, have you ever felt envious? One of our common mistakes is to compare how we feel inside with how our friends appear outside. We don't know what is going on inside of our friends, but we are well aware of what is going on inside of ourselves. Your friends might be envying you based on your social media post without knowing what is really going on in your life. Have you ever felt a sense of inferiority because of a cousin who is doing better than you? She may be smarter than you, attend a better school, work at a better company. But remember that none of us can know how our lives will turn out in the end. Though schools and work might be a measure of success, the older you get, the less important they will be. The true winner is the one who is happy with his life. You may appear unattractive, not because you have many unattractive qualities, but because you think you do and look so uncomfortable. Even if you have unattractive qualities, if you are confident and at ease with yourself, you won't have such a problem. Remember that the most attractive quality is your confidence. It's okay not to be ranked, first, second, or even third. Compare yourself not with others, but with the old you. Like yourself are making an honest effort and continue to have faith in yourself. If you keep letting criticism upset you, then you will gradually wither, and in the end, you will not be able to do anything. And that is exactly what your critics are hoping for. Do not let those who criticize you determine your destiny. Every time you hear from your critics, shout more loudly. No matter what you say, I won't give up. Let's see who is the right in the end. Why should your life be destroyed by the easy criticism of those who do not know you or care about you? Seok Chon-hong, Korean's first openly gay celebrity. If you begin to believe what others say about you, they will begin to control you. Not everything that appears in your mind is true. Do not let someone else's opinion rule your life. If you hear a voice within you say, you cannot paint, then by all means, paint, and that voice will be silenced. Vincent van Gogh. We are worthy of being loved, not because of what we do well, but because we are precious living beings. Even if you don't achieve the perfection the world demands, your existence already has value and is worthy of love. In India, Namaste is a common greeting, like hello. But there is a beautiful meaning to Namaste. It means, the divine being within me bows to the divine being within you. We are much greater and more sacred than we think.